Okay. You and Cass seem to be getting along. We saw them kiss earlier. What kind of stupid question is this? You have a keen eye. I'd say we're happier than two scrit in a jewelry store after hours. That's pretty happy. Kashmir. Glad to see everyone coming together in support of Lion's Arch. Scarlet nearly destroyed the whole city, so it'll take a global effort to bring it back. When will you get back to investigating? We do have a lot to follow up on, don't we? I figure as soon as we're done here and both Jory and Bram are fully healed, we'll get back to the thick of things. How are things with you and Jory? We're very happy. Jory's still a little sore from her injuries, but she's eager to get back to a regular workload. We both are. Zephyrite. Frostbite. Rocks. Glad to be here with all my teammates. We deserve to bask a bit in the crowd's appreciation after our victory over Scarlet. Plus, they say us being here is good for Lion's Arch. Why are you here today? We're here for the festival to support Lion's Arch, but after that, it's back to work. Scarlet may be dead, but she left a lot of questions in her wake. We're going to answer them. Any word from Rutlock? Nothing conclusive. He's been pretty terse and distant. Well, more terse and distant than usual. I'm hoping for the best and preparing for the worst. Isn't preparing for the worst or wearing armor? Because you said he had the right to kill you. Bram, this could be fun. I mean, the part after we're done here. We beat Scarlet, but we do have to stand around on display like trophies in a hunter's lodge. How's the leg? Did Rox tell you to say that? Never mind. My leg is fine. Scarlet broke my bones, but I'm still on my feet, and I'm getting stronger every day. Goodbye. Magister Ella Mackey. Hello, Mug. Oh my god. I've been busy documenting Scarlet's war for the Derman Priory. Care to hear some history? I want okay, cinematic is last. I want details on Timey.
Ah, Timey. Rarely have I seen so much
voiced?
intellect and attitude crammed into such a tiny body. But don't let her size fool you. Between her feisty attitude and her skill at golemancy, let's just say you wouldn't want to get on her bad side. She comes from Radasum, though her studies have taken her abroad. She first came to my attention when Scarlet's marionette was stomping around. Her obsession with Scarlet's research led to some crucial discoveries. When she speaks about magic, especially that of elder dragons, you'd best listen.
Chat says not to be that guy, but there's something great behind the boxes. Dancing with Death by Snargle Goldclaw. They can't do this, Abaddon's voice cracked. You don't deserve to be. They find my methods too harsh, my dear. Even now, he approaches to replace me. But if they knew half the things I knew, the secrets of this world, they would never doom. It's Doom? Doom reached out and gently clasped his lover's betentacled face. All things come to an end, my sweet calamari. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. Oh my god. He said, wiping away the tears one by one. Others may not understand the value of that, but we do. The lights dimmed the cathedral of eternal radiance as death's disco ball descended from above. It's an eerie light bouncing off the walls, reflected in turn in Abaddon's many eyes. Come, let us write the conclusion to our legend, Doom said, extending his hand to his partner. Let us have our last dance. The two gods slowly circled the cathedral hall, hands on hips, drawing out this last stolen moment together. It had been love at first sight, Abaddon knew, and no matter what Doom believed, that love would never die. If anyone else ever tries to dance with me, Abaddon swore, I'll obliterate them. I'm sorry, but no part of this was as good as my sweet calamari. Thank you for pointing that out to me. Tell me about Bram.
Bram Arison hails from Kragstead, a sizable homestead in Wayfarer foothills. He's the son of Aristogalkan and Borgia the Sunchaser. As a child, he never
Borgia? I thought his dad was Garm.
She and Borgia parted amicably so she could forge her legend with Destiny's Edge. Bram's father, a hero in his own right, agreed to raise Bram to adulthood. Unfortunately, that wasn't meant to be. Borgia died when his son was a young boy. In the care of friends, Bram grew into an impetuous teen. He has a reputation for being a bit impulsive, but his heart's in the right place, or so I'm told. When the Molten Alliance swept through Norn lands, Bram saw the violence firsthand. He sought help from the Char of the Black Citadel, but was turned away. Tribune Brimstone had no troops to spare, and he didn't believe the claims that Bram was the son of his guildmate. Undeterred, Bram approached Newt Whitebear in the hopes of gathering Norn to fight back the invaders. Again, he was denied, as the Sons of Svanir were perceived as the bigger threat to Holbrook. Bram ultimately teamed up with Rox Whetstone, a Char Gladium who had fought the Molten Alliance at Nolan Hatchery. Together, and with the aid of the Pact Commander, they infiltrated the Molten Alliance weapons facility and destroyed it from the inside. Bram was involved in a number of operations against Scarlet. He joined the Pact Commander in the final assault on the Breachmaker, but he broke his leg in the process.
Timy's coffer of holding. It's not actually bigger on the inside, but the compression field can give that impression. Just don't put your hand in for too long. Rox.
Rox is a Gladium. She lost her entire warband in a mining explosion. Since then, she performed tasks for Ritlock Brimstone, the Blood Legion Tribune, in an effort to join his Stone Warband. She crossed paths with Bram at the Molten Alliance facility. Together, under the leadership of the Pact Commander, they infiltrated the weapons base, freed the prisoners, and destroyed that operation. Throughout Scarlet's campaign, Rox fought beside the Pact Commander, providing ranged support and healing the injured. She accompanied the strike team that led the assault on Scarlet's Breachmaker in Lion's Arch. When Bram broke his leg during the fight, Rox stayed behind to tend to him. She also revived Marjorie Delacroix, who was wounded by Scarlet's blast. In tending to her friends, she forfeited her opportunity to kill Scarlet, leaving the Pact Commander to do the honors. This was in direct conflict to her
Very
orders,
booscoos.
and it ultimately led to her not gaining membership in the Stone Warband.
Nice physics on the cape. Looks pretty good. Alright. So someone pointed out that this stuff is basically, like, this lady was already in the game when Season 1 was unavailable, and she would basically try to give you, like, a TLDR. But it's cool hearing it again now that we've seen it firsthand. Kashmir.
Lady Kashmir Mead comes from noble stock, but her family has since fallen on hard times. Her gambling brother Kyle put the family deep into debt.
Freaking Kyle!
Forcing her father to liquidate their possessions. Despite his efforts to fix Kyle's mistakes and unable to pay his own bills, her father was thrown into prison, where he died. Kashmir, now forced to work, found employment as an investigator with Marjorie Delacroix. Their combined efforts, with the Pact Commander's help, led to the solving of Theo Ashford's murder during Dragon Bash. Kashmir was instrumental in uncloaking the Nightmare Tower, as well as in other battles during Scarlet's campaign. She distracted Scarlet in the final battle on the Breachmaker, giving the Pact Commander a chance to deal the death blow. Every day's a good day to learn something new. Marjorie Delacroix is a necromancer from Divinity's Reach. Until recently, she was a member of the Ministry Guard of Divinity's Reach, and was responsible for protecting various Crichton ministers and their staff. She quit that job after witnessing some terrible abuses of power. After she left the Guard, she went into business as an investigator for hire, taking on various cases that her clients needed handled, often with discretion. When Scarlet's Aetherblades assassinated Theo Ashford of the Captain's Council, Marjorie led the inquiry that led to the arrest of their leader, Captain Mai Trin. Trin later escaped her cell and fled to the Mists,
Hey, I just
shortly
subbed
before
you,
Scarlet's
and
attack
this is
on
crazy,
Lion's Arch.
but that's
Miss
a year
Delacroix would
now,
later help
so
destroy the
Patreon
Tower
maybe?
of Nightmares in Keswick's Hills, along with Lady Kashmir Mead and the Pact Commander, who led the mission. Through her connections as a Dermond Priory member, she obtained evidence samples left behind by Scarlet's forces. The Pact Commander, with Marjorie's help and that of Kashmir and Vorp, predicted the attack on Lion's Arch. Despite their warnings to the Captain's Council, the city fell, but it was later reclaimed.
So, out of curiosity, thank you for the resub, Xavier21. Yeah, you can become a patron if you want to. I looked up Kyle Mead on the wiki. I don't think he's in the game. It says, not to be confused with Ebon Vanguard Warrior Kyle or Lieutenant Mead. Can you imagine how many people harassed poor Vanguard Warrior Kyle thinking he was the evil Kyle? He's like, no, I'm just a Kyle. I'm just a different Kyle. Yeah, that actually makes me think so. Hold on. Ho-Ho-Tron. Where's the Ho-Ho-Tron lore? Herotron, also Betotron, originally Jobatron, subsequently Ho-Ho-Tron, Hobotron, he was a hobo, and Helotron. Currently serves under the name Betotron, and provides the bait of bloodstone shards to lure the death-branded Shatter out to Amor. He's that robot? He is the death-branded Shatterer bait? I didn't realize that was him. Oh my god, this is a bigger twist than Scarlet. Out to Almora's stand where it can be fought. Additionally, it serves a purpose in Lion's Arch as a job placement golem under the name Herotron, assisting repatriated refugees and new residents of Lion's Arch to find jobs. Herotron is also the source of completing the Glutton for Guidance achievement. As a reward for completing the achievement, Herotron gives the player a consumable, enjoyable pamphlet worth 5,000 karma. Oh my god, he has so much lore! Not much is known about Jobbatron's early existence other than being one of many golems that worked with the Consortium. Jobbatron was specifically Subdirector Noel's pet project, as well as having a personality matrix heavily influenced by Noel. After the defeat of Zaitan, the Consortium discovered the island of South Sun Cove and provoked the territorial Karka. Despite the incidents and unsafe living quarters, the Shady Corporation disguised the island as a peaceful resort to the recent Molten Alliance refugees with a contract. What the new settlers were not told is that those contracts also prevented leaving the island, thus forcing them to work. I don't know about any of this. Jobbatron's task was to interview and find useful employment to all the interested Norn and Char as defined by Consortium standards whilst belittling them. His job was to give them work and insult them. That honestly sounds fun. The golem would also bully and berate the jobless. Oh my god. But you became a hobo later. That's karma. After the contracts indenturing the refugees were destroyed, the golem realized that it was out of a job and had a breakdown. Activating its tertiary objective, Jobbatron left the Consortium and the South Sun Cove in search of a new source of income, unbeknownst to any Consortium member. Being a masterless, purposeless, and down on its luck golem, Hobotron ended up on the streets of Kryda during... Dude, okay, I'm sorry. There's the whole Scarlet story, and then there's this thing that I'm reading now, and they're both amazing. Like, Lord Farron, stand aside. This is amazing. What? Like, I didn't... Okay, there's so many robots, and they were all the same robot. Hobotron ended up in Kryda during the Queen's Jubilee. There the machine met a fellow beggar, the minstrel Marcel. He met the minstrel that he was insulting. The golem recorded and replayed the street performer's music in an effort to get spare change by passing celebrants. Thus, both buskers began competing for a corner, annoying the seraph. When the yeah. Imagine being a bard working for pennies and some guy just walks up and records you and starts playing it and asking for money. When the celebrations were coming to a close, Scarlet Briar attacked the city and ordered her Etherblade pirates to capture citizens, including Hobotron and Marcello. Inside Scarlet's playhouse, the pair were forced to perform the villainous Sylvari's musical theme over and over again in the area where the Pack Commander and Scarlet battled. Whilst performing, the minstrel begged to be released, whereas the immoral machine offered up its services as a hinged golem. While Scarlet was defeated and everyone liberated, however, the beggar's collaboration with Scarlet did not go unnoticed by the other hostages. So both soon found themselves in front of Divinity's Reach Tribunal for entertaining the villain who bombed the celebration and turned Jenna's Watch Knights into fearsome twisted monsters. While the pair avoided jail time, they were both obliged to do charity work for winners. Dude, he said he was trying to heal people to atone for his crimes. I thought he killed people on her behalf. He was just on jukebox? Oh my god, the freaking Seraph chased him all the way to the burned down Lion's Arch to get back their jukebox. Are you kidding me? I thought he was a war criminal. In order to work off their sentences, changing into festive attire and adopting the moniker Ho-Ho-Tron, the golem, along with Marcello, was then forced to raise money via donations during Winter's Day to help repair the city. Oh my god, they did him so dirty. When Lion's Arch came under attack by Scarlet's forces, he fled to Vigil Keep and, using its Consortium medical database, willingly volunteered its services to Lion Guard Healer as a backup medic, aptly taking on the name Helatron. Analyzing the miasma, Helatron was unable to find a cure for late-stage patients, but was able to analyze and counteract by sub-ether harmonics in a localized energy field. Seraph Sergeant then arrived to apprehend the fugitive golem, despite the Asuran construct denying any loyalty to Scarlet and trying to counter the Seraph's incorrect accusations. However, the golem's outstanding warrant for aiding and abetting Scarlet forced Helatrons to evade arrest once more. Calculating that aiding in the assault against Scarlet would earn goodwill and prove his loyalty, Helatron requested an energy amplifier and combat chassis from Evan Nashblade. However, with no funds to pay for the items and Evan's suspicions about the golem's intentions, Helatron's request was denied. Helatron accessed its pleading subroutine and explained its situation, seeing an opportunity to impress the Captain's Council of Lion's Arch. Evan eventually agreed and helped install the combat chassis. Outfitted and ready for battle, Helatron left for Lion's Arch, where it healed and aided many soldiers and heroes, such as Bram, Marjorie, Kashmir, Ellen, and the Pack Commander, in the battle against Scarlet. Eventually, they all boarded the Breachmaker and defeated Scarlet's Prime Hologram. A wounded Scarlet soon escaped to her control room, but the Pack Commander defeated Scarlet one final time. Ellen took notice of the golem's bravery and reassured it of its cleared name, prompting Helatron to question experiencing joy after completing a difficult directive. Okay, holy crap. All right, I have to see, hold on. So many robots that I've seen in the past were all the same freaking robot. This part's much shorter than everything I've read so far. I want to see if he's any more robots I've seen in the future.
2 years going strong. Best Twitch content. Thanks, Muck.
Thank you, Steph. I appreciate that. During the Festival of the Four Winds, he's recruited as emergency medical relief by the Lion Guard and gathered monetary donations inside Crown Pavilion to aid in the effort to rebuild Lion's Arch after it was nearly destroyed during the massive battle. When a member of the Ministry Guard came to arrest the golem, Rox and Bram came to its defense, calling it a hero of Lion's Arch. They were still trying to arrest it for the jukebox thing? Sometime later, after the destruction of the Pact fleet, Captain Ellen Keel brought Helatron to Captain Magnus in Fort Mariner to be his new aide and help in the reconstruction effort. Keel introduced the golem to Magnus as a hero, prompting it to change its moniker to Herotron. Magnus and Keel declared Herotron a free citizen of Lion's Arch, promising it would no longer have to worry about the Seraph. Magnus then tasked Herotron with helping new and returning citizens get back to work, something the former Consortium recruitment golem was only too happy to do. However, moments later, Herotron was confronted by Evan Nashblade, who had traced the golem's ID number back to the Consortium on South Sun Cove. Nashblade used this information to blackmail Herotron into spying on the Captain's Council. Evan Nashblade, you're such a... Oh my god. I almost said the Australian C word. With fundings from the Black Lion Trading Company and the Consortium's help, Lion's Arch was rebuilt into a new and glorious city. Herotron was once again tasked with helping citizens find useful employment, but this time it was under the command of the Captain's Council. Placing itself in Commodore's quarter, Herotron was reunited with his minstrel friend Marcello, and found ways to bicker with him via being unable to find him a fitting job position or reporting the unlicensed performer. Herotron offered to any new or returning passerby job pamphlets. In Path of Fire, as refugees from Alona arrive in Lion's Arch, Herotron can be seen conversing with Ogden Stonehaler about the golem's apparent independent thought and wishes to interview him. Herotron agrees as long as his duties as an official representative of Lion's Arch do not interfere. In Season 4, at some point, Herotron joined Almara Soulkeeper's vigil, assault on the death-branded Shatterer in Jahai Bluffs. Under Almora's instruction, the golem would escort a concentrated bloodstone elemental. The heroic golem once again changed its name to Baitotron and was less than thrilled to do the job. Nevertheless, it successfully lured the enemy when instructed, and Almora's party succeeded. Oh my god. Ho-Ho-Tron, Baitotron, Herotron, and freaking Helotron. I didn't know Helotron was. I didn't know about Helotron or Hobotron, but Betatron, Jobatron, and Ho-Ho-Tron and Herotron I knew, and they're all the same bot. I thought that there was like a million bots that all had this chassis, and they're all the same dude. That's amazing. Do you have the Minion backpack? No, I know that there's a backpack that looks like him, and there's also like there's like the gathering tools that look like him, right? There's like Logatron and Minotron or something like that. That is wild. I'm so glad I read this. This was such a good tale. That's absolutely wild. And then there's pictures down here of Ho-Ho-Tron. Recurring character Tron, yeah. Okay, alright, we saved the best for last. The Scarlet's War cinematic.
Scarlet Briar. Where should I begin? No one at first knew why she began her reign of terror. Some say she peered into the very fabric of the universe and went insane. Her attacks began in the northeast and spread like fire. She formed uneasy alliances and controlled her minions through deception and brutality. She leveraged their technology to scan for currents of magical energy called ley lines. Each attack had a purpose, allowing her to collect data from across Tyria that would later be used to assault Lion's Arch. When all hope seemed lost, the heroes of Tyria rose to the task, along with new allies. Bram Arison of Kragstead. Rox Whetstone, Gladium. Kashmir Mead, Mesmer. Marjorie Delacroix, Investigator. And Taimi, Prodigy from Radasum. Led by the Pact Commander, they dismantled Scarlet's operations.
What? That wasn't me.
But while they reclaimed the city at the Battle of Lion's Arch, they would later discover that she had completed her mission, even in death. Scarlet's machine struck the ley line deep beneath Sanctum Harbor, directing its magic far into the Maguma jungle, changing the course of history.
Okay. Return to your crew's lab in Radasum. Wait, what? That's a different season, I think. Yeah, it just started the base story. I never did the base story on this character. That was awesome. That was good. I gotta say, this is gonna sound like, you know, someone who sips coffee at a Starbucks, but like that was such a good story. I'm feeling very like, wow, they don't make them like they used to. Like, when you compare, like, I'm not saying the people at ArenaNet are like bad writers now, but oh my god, that was another level. Like, this whole thing with Scarlet was on another level compared to Jormag and Primordus Kiss. They're both dead. You know, like, it's just, dude. Scarlet had so many breadcrumbs. The Dredge and the Flame Legion, the Crate and the Nightmare Court. She told the Nightmare Court she had that one thing they wanted. She told the Crate that she had their tablet and she would introduce them to their god. Like, she lied to all these different factions and got them to work together to make this, like, all this technology, and like it all fit together so good. Also, for anyone who doesn't, I mean, I've never really been able to appreciate this. So I'm in modern Lion's Arch right now. And if we go down here in the water, here's some of the old stuff. And here is the drill of the Breachmaker. Like, I've known what it was, but never fully been able to appreciate it before now. It's like, it's down here in the water, and it has been this whole time. That is so cool. That is so cool. I also really appreciate the length of that chapter. I did not expect that to take the majority of the 5-hour stream tonight. When's the last time you played Hot and Path of Fire? It's been a few years. But I've played through them all the way through at least once. Okay, wow. All right. I guess that's all there is to it. No more mail or anything like that. Yeah, that was Living World Season 1. It's in its entirety, and I loved it. that was fantastic. That was very, very good. Hope y'all enjoyed it as well.